We are just 4 days away from the crucial primary in New Hampshire, where it's shaping up to be a two-person race between former President Trump and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Both candidates are ramping up attacks on each other, seeking to deliver a knockout blow. Caitlin Huey-Burns is in Manchester, New Hampshire, with more. Caitlin, good morning.
Good morning. Well, you won't see Donald Trump and Nikki Haley on a debate stage, but they are going after each other. Last night at a town hall, Nikki Haley criticized Trump's policies, but not going after him personally, even when he did.
She's not going to make it. She has no chance. She's got no way.
If he thinks I have no chance and I have no hope, then why is he running millions of dollars of ads against me?
In New Hampshire, it's former President Donald Trump versus his former UN ambassador, Nikki Haley.
The reason he's doing this is because he knows he's not able to defend his record. He's not able to talk about why he wasn't tough enough on China when he should have, and he allowed fentanyl to come through and them steal our intellectual property and build up our military.
Haley's aiming to appeal to independent voters in New Hampshire like Don Hartnett.
I think she really needs to go after President Trump, former President Trump, more. Really a little more aggressively.
The former South Carolina governor has picked up the pace on the campaign trail, barnstorming New Hampshire to try and close the gap with Trump.
Does New Hampshire make or break for your campaign?
We got to go to my home state of South Carolina.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is headed to South Carolina this weekend and has all but seated New Hampshire. But even with a narrowed race here, Haley has an uphill climb.
Can Nikki Haley win New Hampshire?
Oh, she can. Oh, there's no doubt. We want to make sure Nikki had a really strong second place.
But it does seem like second place is downplaying some expectations coming out of here.
Considering that she was in single digits a month and a half ago, and she's got second place locked up already, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
And there is a flurry of activity here on the campaign trail today. You have Nikki Haley, Donald Trump, and Ron DeSantis campaigning here today before he heads to South Carolina. This weekend, it'll be Haley and Trump battling it out for those final votes in this final stretch, with some high-profile surrogates coming in to help. Anne Marie.
All right, Caitlin, thank you. So for more analysis on the New Hampshire race, I'm joined now by CBS News campaign reporters Olivia, Rinaldi, and Nidia Cavazos. Thanks for joining me, ladies. Olivia, I'm going to start with you. Donald Trump is back in New Hampshire today for a rally. I imagine his campaign is feeling pretty good about things, but what are you hearing from the campaign heading into the primary?
Yeah, good morning, Emery. As you mentioned, Donald Trump is back here today. He'll be up the street just a little bit from me here in Manchester. He's up in Concord for a rally tonight. He'll be hosting rallies for the next several days here in New Hampshire, staying through until Tuesday. Their campaign feels quite confident here. The polls have shown that he's starting to pull away from Nikki Haley, and that perhaps those attacks on her are starting to work. As Caitlin mentioned, Trump was at the Fox News interview last night with Sean Hannity, and he said that Nikki Haley is not part of their MAGA movement. He's really trying to stifle any progress she might be having here in the state. But Donald Trump is also going for history here in New Hampshire, like he was in Iowa. No Republican candidate that was not an incumbent has ever won both Iowa and New Hampshire. So that's what Trump is really trying to accomplish here. History might not be on his side, but it will be record-breaking if he's able to win both of the early nominating contests in this cycle.
Really interesting, Nidia. What kind of voters is Haley appealing to? Because, you know, we mentioned earlier, this is turning out to be a two-person race. So clearly there are enough people in New Hampshire who think she's a good alternative. Who are they?
And Marie, good morning. Well, what's important to note, first of all, is that here in New Hampshire, in a difference from other states, is that here independents are allowed to vote in the state's Republican primary. So this is definitely a plus for Nikki Haley, because she has been gaining a lot of momentum and a lot of support majorly from independents here in the state. Now, as far as these voters who are flocking to Haley's events, town halls throughout the past months, what they're saying is that they know for a fact that they don't want a Trump and Biden ticket in November. So they've been in search for this Trump alternative for the past months. And when they attend Nikki Haley's events, they say they resonate well with her message on her wanting to unify the country, putting an end to the political chaos and the drama, she says, from both political parties. They really resonate to this. They appeal, and they're just ready to move on from the past. They're confident enough that they do not want to vote for Biden, but they also don't want a second Trump presidency, and so they're going to her events supporting her. And a lot of the times what I've seen out here on the trail is that when voters come in and they're undecided, when I talk to them after these events, I always make sure to look for the same person that said or mentioned that they were undecided. I look for them after the event and I talk to them and I ask them, are you convinced, or what do you think about this? And they typically say that they're convinced, they're going to vote for Nikki Haley, but what they most often resonate with is her foreign policy. They like where she stands on this, and they truly believe that she knows what she's talking about given her experience as a former UN ambassador. But what they have been pressing here a lot in New Hampshire is for her to speak out against former President Donald Trump. And we know Nikki Haley has been very cautious with this. She has been amplifying her rhetoric against Trump in the past days, but we'll know for sure Tuesday next week whether it was on time or whether it was too late for voters here in New Hampshire.
Yeah, Nidia, you point out independents, also undeclared, can vote in the primary. You cannot vote in the primary if you are a declared Democrat, and if you wanted to change your affiliation, you would have to have done it in October, because we know the former president is suggesting that somehow Democrats are going to be showing up and voting. Olivia, speaking of the former president, he's got some surrogates out there, including a potential vice presidential pick. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York is joining Trump on the campaign trail today at that rally in Concord, and then she's going to host events tomorrow in Manchester near Trump headquarters. Elise Stefanik was one of the first people in Congress to endorse Donald Trump, and she's seen as a very loyal aide to him, a loyal person to him in the MAGA movement. And sources I've talked to that are close with the Trump administration or the Trump campaign have told me that she's going to be repaid for that loyalty. And that might come in the form of a vice presidential pick. Sources have also told me that Trump has considered her. He's asked about what people think of her. And above all, Trump is looking for loyalty, so that might be the match that he's looking for.
All right, Olivia, Nidia, thank you so much.